welcome to Mind Tricks. I am your host, Isreal Pacoso. We're tuning live from St. Louis, Missouri. This is a podcast where we discuss religion, how it affects you when it started. We also discuss conspiracy theories, ancient studies, and spirituality. Today's guest on the podcast is, can you let them know who you are?
Yes, greetings, Rahubat. For those who don't know me, my name is Amunet Re Hotep. And our more distinguished tone is really pronounced Amunet Re Hotep. Yes, which means the hidden one of Re is being, is within the light, so, yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Can you tell the crowd where you're tuning in from?
Yes, I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. As you know, it is called the Queen City. So yeah, Charlotte, they call it, North Carolina, they call it North Kakalaki too. But yeah, I'm here in Charlotte, North Carolina, streaming in.
Okay. Now, can you tell me and the crowd your introduction to the journey that led you here?
Oh yeah, well, currently my journey is that through my growth and development, I have learned a whole lot through my spiritual pathway that I have been on, which started out as being growing up as Muslim in the Nation of Islam, and then traveling through that school, going into the Hebrew Israelite community, then going into the Ansar Allah community with Dr. Malachi York. At a young age, I was introduced to him in the teachings. I think I was about 14 years old. I'm currently 52 at the moment, really 25 in reverse, but I still am following the teachers and the practice as a student teacher of Dr. Malachi York, the master teacher, Panabab Yananun. So Baba Yananun, that's also as we call him too. So my path now, I'm Sabian, and I practice Wusabat. Tour.
Mm-hmm. Okay, can you explain what that means to the people that don't know?
Well, if people knew what Nuwapu was, back when we was Nuwapians, we are a tribe of people who deal with our culture. We deal with our spiritual sciences, of right knowledge, right wisdom, right understanding, that equates to sound right reasoning. And we deal with as being animisms, we are, true to giving thanks to nature and everything that's around us that's dealing with the elements of nature as well too. So, we deal with facts, straight truth. I'm saying, that's dealing with genetic makeup of who we are, dealing with, the facts and just dispelling any kind of falsehood that's dealing with any type of religion, because, that is not who we really are. That was enforced on us, and that's not really our way of life. Our culture, so it's so much detail into what Wusabat is, because, as Wusabat, as Sabians, Musbatwiya, we also have our own culture, our language, you heard me speak a couple of words like Tua, which means yes, that's dealing with our Lahaj, our language. We have I know the way we eat, the way we pray, the way we chant, our tones, knowing how to describe the DNA. Also too, me, myself, and I am a Banu Tasu, which I am a sacred feminine, and I relate with those women who might not know who they are by having my studies and also practicing our way of life through a book that we was given and that was written specifically for women, which is the Lotus of Life. This is a very powerful book. This book has been requested for people all over the galaxy, all over the universe here on this earth, and it streams for people who are Sabians and not Sabians, because this is like a dictionary for knowing who and what you are as a female, as a sacred female. And I definitely promote, the awareness of who and what we are, and the essence and the innate power that we as women possess. And it's through the teachings of Dr. Malachi York that I can stand here to say that I know.
Okay, now I got a question for you. You up for a question?
I didn't know it was a question and answer, but I thought it was just a basic, hey, shoot, if I don't know, I don't know.
No. I'm asking the question right now. I got a question for you right now.
Okay.
All right. Now in the Bible, right? In the Bible, it says Adam and Eve, right? And it says man came and gave his rib to the woman, right?
You're breaking
right
up.
Or wrong? You hear me?
So you asking me religious questions. I mean, that would be, you're saying that man, no, that is not true.
Asking, listen, I'm asking to ask a question. Just listen to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'm asking that basically to ask, okay, did the woman come before the man, or did the man come before the woman?
But we know that everything comes out of a woman. We know that dealing even with the XY chromosome, we as women are double X chromosome, right? And we are created, as it speaks about in the books, and I was gonna go to that too, because I like to go to references of facts. I don't like to really go on what I know, well, really what I know, but what I know from what I read and what I study and what can be proven. So I go by that, and I was going to go to the book, and I am going to go to that section in the book too, to really break down more of it, so I can go verbatim, so you can hear exactly the spiritual science, you know, in the proper form. Okay, but a lot of times we go by what we think we know and go by our own opinions. I want to go by strictly facts, and that's how women, we want to go by the facts and the logic of everything. But no, a woman, everything's come from a woman, even from the etymology of the word. When you deal with the word female, out of female comes male. When you deal with the word woman, out of woman comes the word man. When you deal with the word woman, the word lady, lad comes out the word lady. So when you're seeing that, and as we know, seeing is knowing and hearing is believing. So a lot of people deal with the fact of going to the Bible and listening or hearing to believe a way of life or a religion, and it's not like that. We got to deal with, when you go to the genetics and the epigenetics of how things really are scientifically, and everything came from a woman. We was here first. We was the first to talk. We was the first to walk out the waters. Women, we possess something called, and you can check that out, it's something called the FOXP2 gene that was given to women first, and they scientific notes, they even have a record of that, how we women was the first to use our vocal cords. Okay, and so we came about first. This planet right here is considered a mother planet, and other planet, you know, Mother Earth. Why is that? Because everything is considered, even Mother Nature, everything is considered a female vibration on this planet Earth. Okay, and out of that creation of the feminine creation came male. So, and everything come out of male, even through the process of even giving birth to a male seed as well too. And that is not, you know, rocket scientists right there. You know, even a child can see that in a simple form, like ABC or 1, 2, 3. You know, you feel me? So yeah.
Okay, now I got another question. Now, even though I know the woman got here first, right? How did the woman get here though? How did the woman get to Earth?
Well, okay, hold on. We're looking now, because I was reading that earlier. Hold on. Okay. Give me one moment, please.
No, you good. You good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this mind trick. It's episode
Say again?
2. Yeah, she getting that knowledge ready for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You got the God, Israel Pacoso. You got the God that's getting the knowledge ready.
Okay, the planet Earth is woman. It's right here. I'm going into this right here, which is called the planet Earth is woman. This is what we call Patarak, which is the way. Okay? So it goes in by saying, okay. But let me go back to be able to go to your question, okay? Because a lot of times, you know, when you ask a question, you got to go back to before you get to the answer to the question that you are looking for. Okay, so is speaking. The question again was, how did the woman get here first? Even though you know that, you want me to answer that.
Yeah. But the crowd, the crowd doesn't know. We talking to a
Yeah,
lot of
this is
people
true.
that's
So,
on you. And
okay. So right here in 57, reading from the Planet Earth is Woman, it says, the original unison beings who vibrate twice as powerful as the neutral gender male and female, or the XX and the XY to the XYX and the YXY, the deities. This is what females as women should not forget. She is unlike all other creatures and the trustee of a divine mission in a very physical body as a monthly shapeshifter. For a woman not only gives life to a mortal being, she also bears a spark of divinity in her taha, her earth, and there could be no greater responsibility. Many unknowingly give up this divine right by mixing their bodily fluids with children of the beast and black skin. They slept and exchanged their fluids. In doing so, they lost their divinity and their virginity, then became used, going from man to man, male to male, and some even with male's kind. They must be cleaned inside out and outside in order to regain their divinity and their power. The eye, the overseers, earthly things, is ever watchful and knows who did not know better or best. The right eye that sees the spiritual is the truth. Then, because of the things that happened, the great eye of Ray that saw truth was closed, and henceforth woman walked into falsity. Unable to perceive truth, women fell from grace and saw only that which deceives them, lust and luster. And so it will be until their awakening, not knowing that Panatharu, the men and women, worship the Ka'a, the spirits, the Tarafu, the ghosts, the specters in nature. Some looked at the actual sun in the Papatat, the sky, and the deity over the earth called earth spirits, because they seem to provide and supply their needs. Panatharu was displeased for such is the nature of children when they fear their unknown. Okay, so it says, the unseen deities, unseen deities are monsters to depend on us with no help at all. For 6,000 years, you worship what or who you knew not what, spookism or spirits of other dead. For 6,000 years, your eyes have been closed into a sleep like Panam, the spell of sleep, a spell of ignorance. As children, you have to relearn the way, and when no longer children, you must put aside the childish beings, not having blinded you with the 6,000 spell upon Natharu. Wrathfulness is not upon you unless you ignore your true birthright as Sabians or Nawapians. Okay, I wanted to read that because that's very important. I know you asked me, how we women got here first, right? Well, we was created here. We was created first. The Panatharu created us first. We was created first.
Okay, so you was already on this planet.
Yes, we was, because it's this planet. But we did. We actually was from another planet, but we was actually planted here on this planet. Yes, our DNA, the feminine DNA. Yes, right. The XX chromosome. Yes. But before then, you got to remember. But you got to remember. But before then, as it speaks about, it was the hermaphrodite and hermaphrodites, as it speaks about here, that because we women was here first, and we was hermaphrodites, where we was able to give birth to children without a man. You know that, right?
Yeah, I heard about that. Now that's crazy. Now, can you touch on that? I want to hear about that.
Yeah, I can. I can touch on that. Hold on for one moment, please. And I am cross-referencing to a read. So bear with me, please. And I'm getting this information out of the Lotus of Life, which have a great build on the hermaphrodites and hermaphrodites. Okay. So we go right here, which is, okay. Let me read this. Originally, and this is part of your answer, or the answer you're looking for. Originally, only 12 males Ayashu from Sahu, Orion's star system, and 12 Ashashu females from Sabat, Sirius star system. That's where we come from, the Sirius star system. was allowed to stay on this planet to mix and breed the new Mukwan, the beings who was originally born as twins. Each female birthed a Sawatat daughter and a Sawa son. Before this was perfected, the first offsprings were born conjoined twins, and then Muknasatu, which is the hermaphrodites, and Muknashu, the hemorphites. The Muknashatu, the hermaphrodites, and the Muknashu, the hemorphites, resulted today within the first 6 weeks of what is called pregnancy. If you look and figure at the figure below, you can compare the immature sex organs look the same. After this point, the karad or the child will develop a male or female organs, thus denoting their physical gender. When a child is carried and the mother is stressed at his delicate stage, the child will be ladud, born with a male gender and a female spirit, or a female gender with a male spirit. This is why it's so important not to stress the mother out while she is carrying the child. The Muknashatu, the hermaphrodites, and the Muknasu, the hemorphites, were the original deities on this Mukwak planet. They were the original deities here first. And they were the offsprings of those beings from the Sirius star system, as we know as Sabatat, and they had the X, X, Y, and the Sahat, the Orion skies, where the men come from, and they had the X, Y, Y. The physical form this would be those born as conjoined twins was never separated unless one died, which many did. So the hermaphrodites and the hemorphites was raised to be the highest because their physical bodies vibrated on two frequencies or tones, right? So it shows right here an image actually of a hermaphrodite, which recently happened, where she impregnated herself, where she had sex with herself, and she gave birth to two hermaphrodite twins. And that happened in, it was 2000, I think it was 17. Her name is Josie Maria Garcia. And you can look that up too.
Is the image on the, can you show the image on the screen?
Yeah, I can show you the image as well too, yeah. It's right here. This is the lady right here.
Pull it up a little bit. Pull it up a little bit.
This is the lady they have documented right here. Could you see that?
Okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, there you go.
All right. So she actually gave birth to hermaphrodites, and she gave birth without a man, okay? And it said those males that came from the Orion star system and those females that came from the Sirius star system, they were the deities who opened up the vortex, the Sheye, or wormhole to the Misbatiat, the stars. This is how it was before the growth of Africa, or Africa. This happened long before Africa existed, and long before the makings of the Caucasians as well too. Over time, many Muhyad, Muhtalu, the extraterrestrials, was allowed to come to this Mikwak planet, and they brought with them plants and creatures of their own, from their own world, or Tabalat, and who are recorded as mystical creatures who was in fact once alive on this planet, like they say the unicorn. I mean, what is it? The unicorns, like the mermaids, so forth and so on. How they brought them here, those different creatures they brought here. But the first to be here first was the hermaphrodites, and they came from Orion stars and the Sirius stars. They came here, planted here, and then of course, certain DNA dropped off of the chromosome, dropped off, and it became an XY, or then it became or XX. You know what I'm saying? But when we was on other planets, we was a female was XXY and a male was XYY. You understand?
Okay. Yeah.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I got a question. Like, how come?
So you know that.
How come the women in the inner cities don't know this knowledge? Why is this knowledge like kind of like hidden from the inner, from the people? Like a lot of people don't know about this.
Well, you know that it's nothing new under the sun, right? And you know that
right.
we are in a day and time that we are not in the Pisces era, where we dealt with religion, we dealt with mythology, we dealt with illusions and so forth and so on. Now we're in the era of the Aquarius era. where we deal with technology, we deal with DNA, we deal with extraterrestrial involvement. It's becoming more and more known. I mean, for those women who are not aware, it's because they're, as you know, their pineal gland or their third eye, which is represents right here, the pata, it represents, you know, the activation of the third eye. It haven't been activated, you know. And our patriarchs, what we have right here, we have a saying that says, it would take a true masculine, you know, like yourself or other masculines, right, to activate a true feminine like myself. And then at that point, she, as a true feminine, will activate herself. Then she can activate the whole world. You understand? So it's all about now we as women getting back on the nine women, those nine beings of women, feminine energy, to come back and to sit on her throne. And Aset really means throne. You know what I'm saying? So it's us as sacred feminines don't know unless we are activated. You understand? Because as it says in here, even in the Lotus of Life, we gave up our divinity for the love of mankind and for the love of our own man that we gave birth to. And when we did that, giving up our divinity because of loving him, being in love with him, we lost who and what we were. We went to a dormant state of this forgetfulness. You know, because it's because of love, not saying it wasn't that. It's three types of love. And the love that we have for a man is the one that can keep us blinded if we don't know who we really are.
Yeah.
So a lot of the women,
we need y'all, and y'all need us. You know. And,
most definitely. No one love our man more than we do. You understand what I'm saying? That's why we do so much to build him up, to lift him up, to keep him connected, and keep his chakras aligned with where he comes from. But it's his importance to make sure that he keep us in line with where we come from too. And you know, brother, my brother, for years through religion, women has been suppressed for so long. And so with that, a lot of them forgot how to speak and how to talk. And that's why now, if you actually look on social media now, you see that a lot of women that might be strippers, they might be women who was maids, it might be cooks, it might be teachers and things like that. They all create a platform for themselves to be seen and to be heard in many different facets or whatever creative ability they might have. And so, but like I said in one of my forums before, and I posted on my page, you never, is a woman ever asked, and I posted on my page today, is a woman ever asked why she's so angry? Is a woman ever asked how does she really feel in situations? You know what I'm saying? Because we matter. We are other. We are mother. So we matter too. And our voice should be heard as well too, but it was suppressed. But now all that has been lifted up, and we need your help for that, and the guidance that we can give to y'all in leading the path, you know, choosing the path for y'all to follow, basically.
Right. I agree. Now I want to know, like, why is it like they put the man against the woman and the woman against the man? Why do they do that? It's like they want us to clash.
Why is that? Why is that? Why you think that is? That the enmity, as it speaks about, always been between the seeds. Why is that though? It's a concentrated effort to separate the togetherness of the wholeness of a man and a woman. Because you got to remember, a woman shares the soul of her father when she is born. And then when she's married, she take on the soul of her husband. So it's a destroy. And in society, what's most respected, even when you're doing your taxes, married, filing jointly, you know what I'm saying? But in society, when you go out and buy a house, buy a car, if it's a balancement there of the masculine and the feminine, it's more respected as a whole, and the gateway opens up like a vortex in a sense. So that's the same way. And so if the separation comes, that we don't be together as a masculine and feminine and be that balanced yin and that yang, then it will cause other confusion in our path for us to be able to not do anything or acquire anything or accomplish anything or even set goals mentally anymore. You know what I'm saying? So but that time of separation is no more, because we want to unite with our masculines in the highest form of order that we can, spiritually, mentally, and physically. You know what I'm saying? And that's why if you was to really sit down, even to a stripper, I mean, they are using their crystals, they're using their stones, they burning they incense, they using they sage, all that to be able to align themselves, because they know that they feel the time that they're in, but they just need that motivation.
Yeah, it's time for the earth. It's time for the earth to get back in balance, you know. And I got another question. Like, can you explain to the not even a question? I just need you to explain to the women that don't know what the pineal gland is. Like, can you tell them what it is?
Well, you know, the pineal gland is actually dealing with the third eye. You know, it's dealing with this the opening gateway to the mental reservoir, which is a fourth plane all the way up. It goes up to many different dimensions. Okay, and once you activate the pineal gland, you know, at that point you activate all the chakras and you align who you are with your spiritual self. When you say, that's why they call it the third eye, because it's another eye to see. You can see things spiritually. You can see things on different dimensions. You can tap into the abilities, like it says right here. We as women should have 18 abilities. As it speaks about the skills of a woman, we should be able to have the skill of, let me read that. It said, do not be of those who misuse the gifts given by Pa Natharu, the overseers. The females from Sabaat Sirius star system was given 9 skills, and the Ayashu males from Sa'u was given 9 skills as well. The women, we are given the skill of dance, the skill of singing, the skill of sewing, the skill of healing, the skill of love making, the skill of cooking, excuse me, the skill of drawing, the skill of playing music, the skill of sport, the skill of building, the skill of teaching, the skill of weaving, the skill of carving, the skill of writing, the skill of creating, the skill of mathematics, the skill of chemistry, the skill of tongues. And when we use all those skills, that's what they call ancient Kemetic way of sciences. Okay, so, and it says these 18 skills was planted in the genes to manifest also in our offsprings, but over time and mixing, they exchange their skills, and some now have more than just one skill, and some are very skillful. But originally 12 males from Orion star system and 12 females from Sirius star system was allowed to stay on this planet to mix and breed the new Mukwan beings, which we are, who was originally born as twins. And it goes into the fact, you know, go back into the hermaphrodites and the hemaphrodites. But to answer your question, we women must learn how to use our innate power that's within us, because we are the dark matter that everybody talks about, okay? And we can be ignited by our males or our masculines now to be able to help us back on our seat. You understand? Because you have to be able to be on a certain seat in order to activate your pineal gland as well too. You understand? And that goes through meditation. Like the master teacher always said, let meditation be your measuring rod, because at that point it will allow you to be able to decipher and to be able to use that two-edged sword to be able to see from the physical world as well as the spiritual world. Okay, and you be able, because you got to know that we are dealing in a world of duality as well too. You know, and a lot of people are only one-sided. They are not using the full force of the 720 that can extend more into different degrees and levels of consciousness. And when the pineal gland is activated, you are able to us as women to gain our seat back as being divine feminine. And we can once rule again and be able to actually mend this planet back together from all the pains and the hurts and the destructions that, you know, has been caused upon it. So it is help out there for our sisters. And the sisters know that, because I see them every day. I talk to them every day. I am one of them. You understand? And so with that, we know we just need to be able to not be so possessive by saying my man, my car, my house. You know what I'm saying? Because when we was living collectively, we seen things as a we, me, we. We didn't see things as an I. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women are very possessive, and I must say that myself too. You know, we possessive when it comes to a man. You know what I'm saying? And it's more of us than it is of y'all. So what does that mean? You know, somebody gonna be sharing one or two of them, right? You know, and that right there breaks down us women becoming more activated with each other and working together, because another woman can activate another woman's pineal gland. We can do that because we are a reflection of each other. You understand? But we have to be able to be willing and yield to each other to be able to bring up that strong energy, because when more than one woman is living together, we are on each other's same cycle when it comes to our menstruation. So that lets you know that it's something within us, that's fluidity, that's pulling us. Are you still there? Did you leave? Maybe I was talking too much. Maybe I was just dialing in. Maybe I was in tune with the ethers, and you know, I didn't know where to begin. It's being a little poetic right here. I don't know what happened, but I shook to everyone.